Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel Talks. And today we are joining in with Samarpan Vashisht, and later we'll be joined in with Yogesh Rajput, who is also a dear friend. And what is common between three of us is a fanboy movement. You can say deep liking for a movie which we are going to talk about today. And I'm sure that a lot many of you who would be watching this video would also be in that fan club of this movie. This movie which we are going to talk about today is Goodwill Hunting.
Meet Will Hunting.
I've been looking over this rap sheet of yours. Assault, theft, resisting.
I've spoken to the judge, and he's agreed to release you under my supervision.
Yes, the very famous 1997 movie which created a kind of very big buzz, which was received very well critically, and it was also a commercial success. It was a movie which was mainly starred by Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Robin Williams. And it was a movie which many feel very close to their heart, like me, Samarpan, and Yogesh, who would be joining later from Germany. So we will be talking about this movie. Hi, Samarpan. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you
It's
so
always a pleasure to talk about this movie, whether you're sitting in a cafeteria in a college or you are doing a formal kind of interaction on a Zoom chat. That is not to say that this is a formal chat. This is a very informal conversation about a movie which we all hold very close to our heart. So tell me, Samarpan, when did you first watch this movie? Before we get into the nuances of the movie, tell me, when did you first watch Goodwill Hunting?
I don't remember what was the specific time when I watched it, but I remember I was a fan of late Robin Williams, and he was one of the two people which made me sad when they left Earth. One was Robin Williams, and second was Irfan Khan. Like only these two actors were so inspiring and so good at their craft that they actually made me sad. I actually
Yeah.
remember crying when Robin Williams died and when Irfan died, and I was very moved by their death. So I was on a spree of watching Robin Williams movies. During that time, I came to know about this movie, and I watched this movie, and I watched it again and again. I have watched it like 10 times, 12 times. It's one of my all-time feel-good movies. I relate to dialogues, I relate to so many characters, so many tendencies which the characters have in the movie. So I have watched it multiple times.
Yeah. Same here. When Robin Williams' death news came in 2014, I remember I had just left my job in Chandigarh and I was back to Delhi. And I was actually idle. I was not doing any work. I was just looking for the job. And I was watching some of my favorite movies. And in that post, just few days before Robin Williams died, I had watched this movie. And when the news of his death came, it was a heartbreaker for me too, like you said, because after Dead Poet Society, which also had Robin Williams, the brilliant Robin Williams, I was a huge fan. Fan is actually a trivializing word, I would say. I was a kind of, if you use the today's terminology, what we use in India, I was a bhakt of Robin Williams, actually, Samarpan. So I was heartbroken. So for me, the movie it has different things for different people. It has a different takeaways, as you would accept that it has a different takeaways for different people. For me, the most beautiful aspect of the movie, and when I say this, I'm getting a goosebumps. Actually, I'm getting a goosebumps, Samarpan, and I'm not exaggerating it. For me, the most beautiful aspect of this movie was the friendship between Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And yesterday on the Friendship Day, I was watching this movie, and friends who are not together with me right now, obviously, we all get drifted towards our own worlds as we grow old. So I was just texting all of them that I am watching Goodwill Hunting, and I was telling them I'm watching as an ode to our friendship. So yeah, for me, the most charming, the most enchanting, the most beautiful part of the movie was the relationship, the friendship which Matt Damon and Ben Affleck shares. And you remember that scene in which he tells that he convinces actually rather Matt Damon that he should think about a job and prospects of getting out of the Saudi from that place. And he tells him that the best time in my day schedule is that when I come to pick you up in the morning, and that 10 seconds when I knock at your door and I wait for you, I feel that I rather pray that you don't come out and I get to know that you have left us.
Right.
And finally, then when Matt Damon decides to go for his normal life, just leaving behind all his past traumas, and in that last few scenes when Ben Affleck goes to his house and he knocks and he peeps out of his window and realizes that he's not there.
In 20 years, if you're still living here, coming over my house to watch the Patriots game, still working construction, I'll fucking kill you.
That is something which kind of
Very emotional and very poignant in the movie.
yeah, and it's a template of a true pure friendship, Samarpan, that a friend who really feels for you always will want you to go ahead in life.
True.
No matter that means leaving that friend itself. So for me, the most beautiful part was that obviously then the relationship between, as we have discussed earlier, for you, the relationship between the Matt Damon and Robin Williams as a mentor and protege. So I think for you that was the most. I would rather leave it to you to explain more of it. That what was for you the most beautiful part of the movie.
Before I talk about that, I would like to say that acting is in acting is different. Like when actor plays on screen, it becomes apparent that they are acting. Since Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote this movie together and they were friends before, that's why the chemistry came on the screen with so much emotion. I can't hear your voice now.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You said it right because they co-wrote this script.
Yeah.
Friends, so that chemistry of their friendship was palpable. That was very much visible on the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
And
true.
This was actually a college project. Matt Damon was supposed to write only one act script for his class essay when he was in Harvard, and he failed that class because he wrote a 40 pages movie script.
Okay.
But he said that it's okay if I fail. It is the beginning of something great.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming to second point, that what touched me most. I believe that the thing I liked most and which I didn't understand for quite some time was the self-destructive tendencies of Matt Damon. I mean, I could relate so much with that because he used to push people away.
Yeah.
He used to fear that everybody he loves will move away from him. So to avoid that, so that he does not have to feel the pain of people moving away, he pushed people away, whether it's the relationship he was trying to form. He had to grow in a foster family and he had to go a lot of traumas in his childhood, so he used to push people away, and he has the defense mechanism where he insults other people before they become too close to him. So that was the point which made me connect to the movie. And second thing is Robin Williams' character. That after his wife dies, he leaves everything and he teaches a very core course in some obscure university.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
In some, obviously against his very successful field friend, whom he calls a snob.
Yeah.
He's teaching in a normal community college. Yeah.
Right. So that made me feel very, very, very moved that once you lose the people you love, once you lose the things which are most dear and near to you, nothing matters then in life. All the money, fame, all the knowledge you have, it does not matter. You just live like a blob after that point of time because you have lost all purpose. So in this movie, not only Robin Williams, let's say, cure Matt Damon's, but in his own ways, Matt Damon's also make Robin Williams' life better. He gives
course.
him new sense of life, new purpose in life. And he says, I remember this dialogue. I do not know whether it's verbatim or not, but there is this dialogue that listen to your heart. Listen to your heart, it'll make the right decision, or it'll always right. There is some dialogue right, like that. And that touched me. That touched me a lot.
Yeah, of course. The best part of the movie was that each of the characters were very true to the characterization which the director must have thought. Because you see, Robin Williams, he comes across as a very vulnerable person himself, who
Right.
has lost his and is trying to I mean, I won't say escape, but he's just so much stuck into his past. But at the same time, he is helping the people who are being haunted by their past, by the past traumas. That same vulnerable person is trying to be their strength.
Right.
So this beauty of the character which Robin Williams portrays in this movie is really heartwarming. And Samarpan, for me, one of the best part of the movies is that I learned one thing from the movie. You must be remembering that in one of the scenes when Matt Damon, obviously at his defensive best, confronts Robin Williams and says this and that about his wife. That I mean, a lot of things, and remember the scene when Robin Williams get very aggressive on him, and in their next meeting,
You don't know about the true loss.
yeah, and he takes him to the beach side, and
Yeah.
they're on a bench.
I ask you about love, probably quote me a sonnet. But you've never looked at a woman and been totally vulnerable. You don't know about real loss, because that only occurs when you love something more than you love yourself.
And he tells him a very nice thing. He says that by reading books, you can never empathize people. So it's like that I know that you are an orphan, and say that I understand what you have gone through because I have read Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. And
Yeah.
that's a very thing to say.
Do you think I'd know the first thing about how hard your life has been? How you feel, who you are? Because I read Oliver Twist.
So it's like it crushes the entire ivory tower intellectual empathy, which a lot of intellectuals have. That because I have read a lot of books about poverty, I can empathize with poverty. That it in that one dialogue, it crushes this whole premises that if you are worldly wise in the terms of you have read a lot of books, you are very educated, you can empathize with people.
Right.
It's not. You have to live that life to understand that life. So that aspect which I really love. One, I was when I was watching the movie, I was going through the trivia which is there on the platform for the movie, and I got to know that initially Matt Damon was to be a physics prodigy. He was to be a physics genius,
Right.
but he was suggested against this because he was told that usually what happens, physics is a group activity where you have to explore the universe and everything, whereas mathematicians can do their job in isolation. So Matt Damon should be a mathematician. And look at the level of research. I mean, I must say, at the cost of being marked as Hollywood or world best, the kind of research they put in, that they went to a Nobel laureate for this thing. And some of the best physicists and mathematicians actually guided the screenplay writers, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, for the mathematical formulas, even which Matt Damon is seen solving in first of the few scenes. So this is kind of research. Like there was a talk that recently that Christopher Nolan in his last movie. I think Inception was his last movie. Before the
There was one more movie, Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
But I think for Inception, he hired a Nobel laureate to get the science right.
He did the same
Christopher Nolan.
for Interstellar as well.
Okay. So this is a kind of research. So everything looks so convincing. Even the Matt Damon's genius, the mathematical genius, doesn't come out as something superficial.
Right.
It looks refreshing and it looks so. Looks so convincing that he is a mathematical genius. It's not that he's playing.
Because they have taken care of a lot of very small subject which we actually ignore. They have worked on the nitty-gritties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something which gives a lot of credibility and authenticity to the movie. So I think, Samipin, that this conversation which we had today, there are a lot of themes, frankly, in this movie. There's about a genius who world appreciate, but what kind of traumas he gets through. There must be a lot of stories behind his success. Then there's a story of hand holding, that when you find someone really eager to help you out in life, what miracles you can do. It's a story of a friendship, it's a story of a mentorship, it's a story of abandonment, your insecurities that you fight every day. There's so much in this movie. And I'm sure that anyone who watches this movie, I know people who have watched this movie 20, 25 times, as you yourself said that you've watched it more than 20 times. So there are people who have watched this movie more than 20 times. I have watched it 15 times, and I visit and revisit this movie every year. That's a kind of ritual. So I think, Samapan, if you can suggest something what we can say as a parting note, that why one should watch Good Will Hunting.
There are so many things. It will be very hard to pick one thing. But I'll say one thing which moved me a lot. I think there is this dialogue by Robin Williams in this movie which says that nobody is perfect. It is just that if the person is perfect for you.
She isn't perfect either. But the question is whether or not you're perfect for each other.
Yeah. He talked about his wife farting habit. So like.
And that is one thing, and second thing is about empathy. We think that जैसे हमारे यहाँ ना एक कहावत है कि हमेशा ना दूसरे की थाली में घी ज्यादा लगता है. So we think that if the person has intellect, if the person has money, power, position, and prestige, that person is happy. He has everything, or she has everything. He must be very satisfied in life, and we don't realize that everybody is fighting with a storm, and that storm is from inside.
You see, what really perplexed me in this movie was that there was insecurities with Matt Damon, there was insecurities with Robin Williams, and there was insecurity with, sorry, I'm just slipping the name of the physics professor, mathematics professor.
Lefu, something like that.
The professor who first traces his genius. So he Fields Medal winner, but still his insecurities are so much that he tells that. I mean, you see in that scene when he just burns that formula, Matt Damon burns that formula.
You're right. This is probably a total waste of my time.
He expresses insecurities that in spite of winning the Field Medal, which is equivalent to the Nobel in mathematics, he is still not content and he's fighting the inner insecurities. So that was also portrayed very beautifully. You are right. So these are some of the real good things about the movie, and we all recommend that we should watch this movie for sure.
Actually, people should go on a spree of watching Robin Williams movie. Like, almost all of his movies are such that, and his life also. He was a successful comedian. He was a successful actor. He was an Academy Award winner actor. He won the Academy Award for this movie. Yeah.
For
And in the end, he committed suicide. Like how lonely that person must have been, how depressed he must have been. That despite having everything, he did not find worthiness in life. This
and yes, yeah,
yeah, there is a quote from Camus that the biggest philosophical question is that whether we should commit suicide or not. And
yeah,
and look at his life. Like he portrays that person in the movie that he had everything. He loses his wife, and then he moves on to different thing because he does not find it interesting them. And same thing happened in his life as well. Like he had everything, and if
yeah,
you look at his actually comic sets, if you look at his stand-up comedy, he comes out as very passionate about his craft. He comes out as very intelligent about his craft. He's very active about his comic timing. He had everything, and in the end, uh, he had to leave everything behind because he could not find contentment and satisfaction. So not only the movie, but Robin Williams' own life also gives the message that we should try to find, if we say in Indian language, मोक्ष जीते जी मोक्ष प्राप्त करने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए because it's very hard to be satisfied and be content with what we have. We always try to achieve this, and it's become too much preachy now. We started with Goodwill Hunting.
not preachy. Rather, I will leave this video on a note that next video would be on another brilliant movie by Robin Williams. That would be Dead Poets Society, which again we two share a very great love for. And to just say that you were not being preachy, the entire premises of that movie, A Dead Poets Society, is that what will your verse be?
Yeah.
What will your calling in the life be? So this has been the biggest question of humankind and everyone. So on this question, I want to tell our viewers that for the next two videos, we will be discussing Robin Williams' Dead Poets Society, and after that, we would be discussing another brilliant movie called Midnight in Paris, which is, you can say, is a rom-com, but it's about literature, it's about your calling, it's about a lot of other things. So please get hooked to this YouTube channel. Please watch us, please share us. And if you want to share your views about any movies you can very well join us on YouTube channel also. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Samapan. Thanks a lot for this wonderful discussion. Yogesh somehow could not join because he was tied up with his work schedule. But in next session, we would obviously be joined by some other guest also. Thanks for this wonderful discussion. I'm sure that few of our viewers who are watching this would definitely pick this movie for the first time if they are watching, or maybe they would revisit this movie. Thanks, Samapan, for joining in.
Thank you so much.